What is the draw of the West? The spirit of courage and adventure that marked that period of time is unique to America and represents the tough as leather mentality that makes this country the great nation it is today. The Old West was a world where one's survival depended on wits and skill with a gun.
Way out in the wild and woolly west, where cowhands shot the buttons off my vest. When them cowboys get on benders, they'll shoot off your suspenders. Yeah. Way out in the wild and woolly west.
Today's stories of the frontier continue to intrigue and captivate with tales of danger and beauty of the great outdoors, heroism, and most of all, freedom. Associations such as the Mounted Cowboy Shooters celebrate that strong heritage by keeping the traditional skills of shooting and horsemanship alive.
We'll start shooting here in a little bit when we all get settled and ready. And are you going to help us range master?
The concept of this mounted cowboy shooting sport began in 1990 with Arizona native Jim Rogers. After participating in single-action shooters society events for a number of years, he envisioned taking the sport on the trail. Now, almost 20 years old, the sport encompasses tens of thousands of shooters participating in hundreds of events around the world every weekend.
This is my 12th season. I was a cowboy action shooter, and I showed up at an event where they had a trail ride, and I had a horse and guns, and they had a mounted shoot. They needed some more people, so they said, come try it, and I did. I've been doing it ever since.
I've been a lifetime rider and shooter, and this is the first sport that I got to combine both of my favorite sports, shooting and riding.
What kind of guns do you shoot?
45. 45.
Have you already ridden today?
Yes, sir. It's fun to get out there and shoot.
I like the excitement. Boy, that was a good run.
Everybody's so sweet.
Shooter as well, and she's been working on her grandson to kind of help.
How do you think you did on that run?
Oh, we didn't do very good. And not giving extra points for the rodeo. I've been doing it for a little over a year, but this is only my fourth match.
Sorry, Brandon.
Rubbing on me.
Mounted shooting is one of the nation's fastest growing equestrian sports, according to Ken Barker, president of the Gulf Coast Mounted Cowboy Shooters.
The ammunition is certified ammunition. It's a .45 long Colt. Everybody shoots the same ammo. the club provides the ammo. It's just full of black powder. And when the primer goes off, it ignites the powder. The powder shoots about 15 feet, and that's what pops the balloon. There's no projectile coming out. And only about 15 feet or so is the distance that the black powder would run. If I were to shoot someone over here, they would just feel a pretty good stain from the powder. Again, it's safe ammunition that we use. It's a timed event. You break the timer, and you run, there's about 53 different patterns that you can choose from. Those stages are drawn before the match. In this particular case that we're shooting right now, you'll shoot the first 5 balloons around those 2 barrels, and then you shoot the red ones. For each balloon you miss, it's a 5-second penalty that's added to your total raw time. If you fail to follow the course properly, they add 10 seconds to your time. Of course, if you fall off a dropper gun or something like that, then that's a total 60 penalty.
Appreciation of firearms is an American tradition, with gun etiquette handed down from generation to generation. Here in the South, the respect for firearms is taught at a young age. Concepts such as always treat a gun as if it were loaded, a gun is not a toy, and never aim your gun at anything that you don't intend to shoot, with a great big helping of personal responsibility, are the norm down here. Steve Moreland, a resident of Washington County, carries on that tradition with his family.
I have a ladies one now, Darcy, she's 15. I have a junior, Sam, he is 12. He rides the horse, both of them ride the horse. I have a wrangler, Olivia, she's 9 years old. They ride the pattern, the same patterns we do with a horse, and they get off and shoot their balloons.
I shoot a Cimarron. It's single action, so that means you have to pull back the trigger and the hammer and pull the trigger each time to shoot. My dad has my other one. We both share one gun because we haven't found another gun that match.
Moreland says, "This is a chance for my children to grow up knowing gun safety. The worst thing is for someone to have a firearm and not be familiar with it. My children know how to handle firearms. They know how to load them and unload them safely. This sport allows young people to satisfy their curiosity about guns safely."
You're going to see, as you keep filming here, you're going to see there'll be a lot of neat people to talk to, and it's really a family-oriented sport.
I think people like the sport, one, because it's the family, but it's kind of everybody's fantasy as we were growing up. Gene Autry and Art Rogers and the Old West.
The draw of the West is still alive. As Dean Alfan succinctly puts in My Creed, I prefer the challenges of life to the guaranteed existence, the thrill of fulfillment to the stale calm of utopia. I will never cower before an earthly master, nor bend to any threat. All this is what it means to be an American.